Now, we got to this point through, I like to think of as a couple different evolutions. The first evolution was this era of utility. In other words, if you were to think back a couple decades ago, your organization was primarily based on what are the bare bone essential tools that you need to get your job done. A hammer and nails, maybe at the time. Today, it's a cubicle, a desk, a phone, and a computer. That's it. That's the utility mindset. Those are the bare bone essential tools you need to get your job done. Go sit in that cubicle and shut up and do your job. And then we evolved from that, thankfully, to the era of productivity. And the productivity era was one that we saw over the past few decades where employees were actually timed with stopwatches so that we can shave seconds off of their task. This was Taylorism, this was Faylism, this was the era of scientific management. Now imagine that concept today when you're sitting there typing an email and your manager comes up to you behind you and he says, I noticed that last email took you 30 seconds. You think you can do it in 28? Right? That was essentially what we were actually seeing in this era of productivity. And then we came to this era of enlightenment, this era of engagement. How do we make people happy? Maybe we should think about what we can do to give back a little bit to the people who work inside of our organizations. And so this era of engagement was born. And engagement was very focused on happiness. How do we make people happy? And that was where we became very obsessed with introducing perks and these little novel ideas to get people to smile more. But happiness alone is not enough. And that brings us to the era that we are in today, which I think is the era of employee experience. Employee experience, unlike engagement, is the redesign of an organization that puts your employees at the middle, that puts your people at the center of how the organization operates. It's not about perks. It's about fully redesigning what your organization does to put your employees at the center.